So, in your lifetime, have you seen the collective consciousness rising in this world, or it's going towards the dark ages? So, there's this whole concept of yugas in the spiritual world, and so are we going to a brighter future? I mean, I know they call it there is a circle, and we keep rising the consciousness, and it goes back. So, in which direction are we heading? Upward or downwards?
I think upward. I think upward. Although all the signs outside may appear to be that we are going downward, this is a washing up that's happening.
Right.
This is a cleaning that's happening. We have, according to the traditional calculation, we have just passed about half of Kali Yuga. There is still much left. During this season, lot of washing will take place. But the movement will be towards betterment. When I say betterment, it need not necessarily be what we call the overtly civilizational betterment, like more building, more industry. The mind, quality of the mind is definitely going to improve. Very soon we will end, not very soon, in some years we will end up not being just frontal lobe human beings, but human beings in which other parts of the brain also function.
So I know you have mentioned about multi-universes in many conversations. So do you think there is humanity, or there is life in certain other universes which could be of a higher consciousness?
I fully agree with this. This is human ego that thinks that we are the highest perfection of evolution, and then nothing. Really, it is endless. Nobody knows where the end is. There are worlds where there are people who, when you compare our intelligence to theirs, it's like a 2-year-old child's. Believe me. Because so they have other ways of finding out and understanding things, the instruments of which have not been perfected in us. Their bodies may be different. They need not be like our bodies. All this is there. We like to think that we are the only world which is there, because that it kind of breaks our ego, to say that there may be other greater beings out there.
So does the life continues in different planets as well? So,
yes, of course. From my understanding, if the soul that is in the physical body, it can go to other, and it can develop. And then people say, oh, it was in heaven, hell, this sphere, that sphere. There are worlds. And there are also, in the world, there are realms. Look, in this place where we are sitting, there may be another realm or a dozen other realms, but their rate of vibration or rate of frequency may be such that they are here and passing through us and we don't see it. When you sleep and at home, and if you're alone, even if your wife has gone on a holiday, you're actually not alone. No, don't, this is frightening. Don't think.
So there are like 7 billion worlds. If there are 7 billion people, 7 billion realms.
Could be. We can't count like that, but there are several. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So that means what? That means what? The human being is not so limited as we think. He can go beyond. He or she, the human. We try to limit it to only this physical world that we know of. But we are multidimensional in reality. We've still not explored. I'm saying that in future, gradually, slowly, even in scientific research and so on, people will come to understand that we are multidimensional. This is the major step in revolution. Right. Evolution and revolution.
Right.
I'm now trying to get this idea into a thing like IIT Delhi. If you look at the
Yes.
YouTube. Exploring consciousness has become a subject. I've become a paid teacher now there. First time I'm doing some honest labor, of course, but
So consciousness has become now a scientific subject, which is a good thing. And the impact of it on the health and
yeah,
well-being
like
is
WHO, the WHO has now added that health is not just physical health, it's
right,
also mind's well being. Otherwise, there is no health.
right,
And then go one step beyond and say human being is not confined to this conditioned human, but much beyond. You can't use the word God, then the scientists will run away.
mm.
I was about to say we are not just human beings, we are gods. But you say that word and they react.
Yeah, but even in science, there is God's particle, and
God particle.
right.
And of course, there is our good friend Richard Dawkins. I wish to meet him sometime in the US and have a nice course of dialogues with him. I think his idea of God is the Semitic God. It is not the Upanishadic. In fact, if Karl Marx had read the Upanishads, studied the Upanishads, his idea would have been different.
Mm.
When they God, their religion, they mean Semitic. There is one God sitting up there, almighty, making people and throwing them down. They not behave, whipping them, and constantly demanding that he be praised.
Right.
That's like
So the
a
Vedantic idea of the creator and creation being one, and so is that the where the world may converge someday?
yes, I think so. If things go okay, and if we put in a little bit of effort, maybe that's where we will be moving forward. And that's
Right.
essential to expand our spiritual consciousness. You can't be confined to just.
So it's just a fantasy of the creator that all of us are existing.
It's not a fantasy. It's the expression, or rather, a manifestation of the consciousness that this is all happening. The moment you realize that as your true center, then all this manifestation looks different to you.
Hmm.
You see divinity in every manifestation. See, there you have behind you a lotus, and there is some water, and there is a reflection on the water at the bottom.
Yes.
Unfortunately, all we see is the reflection. We don't see the lotus. Here you see in the picture, because it is a artist's presentation. An artist is like God in some way.
Hmm.
You know,
So,
they put out things which you can only imagine onto canvas.
so what we see is the manifested world. What we don't see is the
The
unmanifested.
reflection, this is perfect. And it looks so perfect, and we could think it's the only reality. That is the problem.